Hey guys, this is Allison from Alley Creations. How are you? A lot's been going on in the world today. And just like my other spiritual videos that I started out with this channel with, spiritual soul advice. I just doodled really quickly. I have to get my watercolors out and I didn't pack those yet. Before I begin, please hit that like, please share because it's caring, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And if you have it within you to help me, if you ever get anything from my work, a new book to read, a connect the dot, an epiphany, anything, all the help I can get right now is super needed. I'm in the middle of packing up my house. I am trying to figure out where to move. I am alone. I am all by myself. And not to say I don't have family, but I really don't. And I have very few friends that can financially help me. I have friends that are donating their food stamps to me so I can eat. So that's how desperate my situation has been. And I would like to keep going with this as long as I possibly can before I do put the house up for sale and I kind of take an absence. So the spirit gave me this idea because a lot of people right now, I'm reading on a lot of chats in the Telegram groups, the spiritual ones, and other comments that I'm seeing around. The energies are very extremely high. The Schumann resonance is kind of giving us a break tonight for some of us. I am completely awake. It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning where I am, and I can't get to sleep. I just finished a reading on the Urantia book, and I'm just like, okay, spirit, boop, there's an idea, go with it, run. So I'm running with it. A lot of us have been going through hell in a handbasket in the last couple of days. I know that I had food poisoning. It had to be. But it's also the last couple of days after recovering has been this major purge that my body needed, because we are ascending, many of us. And again, take what resonates with you, but I don't want anybody that you don't think you're, ascending. Everybody at some point is going to ascend, and you're going to go through the same symptoms or similar. Everybody is an individual and everybody's symptoms are different. So please don't think that because nothing is happening to you, a lot is happening. You're just, it's not in a physical way. Many of us who are starseeds and light workers are going through a really rough physical time. You're gaining weight, you're losing weight, your ears are buzzing. And the ear's been buzzing for me for years. It's more, it hasn't been too much lately because I'm purging. Your sleep is off, you're exhausted, you're not, you're mad. It's like being bipolar. And that's not to make fun of anybody that has that. For sure. We go on every day, we have our routine, we wake up, we have to do what we have to do. But what I am noticing is that more people are awakening to the reality of things, more so because it's intended to. On a political level, this really deeply impacts the spiritual level, because what is happening in the matrix, in the simulation, is affecting all of us, whether you are a light worker or not. The reality is we are busting our hides. There's gas issues, so a lot of people don't have the money to afford gas. You thought you were going to go on vacation with the kids. You can't take that road trip, and you don't want to get on the flight because it got canceled 20,000 times. You're just not feeling good. Things are just not working the way you would like. You can't obtain the food that you once had. It's crap food, by the way. So I would like to kind of give some examples of what has been helping me get through these very difficult energies. Also, if you're into astrology, there is a lot happening up in the planetary astrology right now. A lot. There's Pluto, I think, Uranus, Jupiter. There's a lot going on. There's retrogrades. I don't have all my sheets of paper in front of me to tell you exactly what is going on. And I'm not really an astrologer. I follow it, and I'll definitely learn it eventually. Just like the tarot. It's too much for my brain to contain right now. But when I was purging and projectile spewing and just feeling like I'm having a heart attack, besides doing my first aid kind of, training kind of stuff, I put on binaural beats, and I put specific, not necessarily hertz on, but I put binaural beats that is recommended for body detoxing, pain, and centering your chakras. So I played those during, when I was trying to sleep or lay down and just like try to function. And those really soothed me. Not all binaural beats are equal. Some people really can't tolerate some of the higher pitched noises that you hear through the theta, the gamma, the delta waves. They do have alpha waves. They're very high or extremely low pitch sounds, and that bothers some people or pets. So just be aware of that. There's nothing wrong with you. Again, everything is about what resonates with you and your soul. And everybody is different. We're all individual. We are all one and the same, by the way. But each fractalization of us likes certain things. We're in a human body. And what's really happening right now is our third density physical body, our avatar, needs to catch up with our soul, high vibing, high energy essence. So they have to kind of meet and neutralize somewhere in the middle, or your physical body really has to meet your light body. And that's really what's going on. I was talking to a friend today that I've known since kindergarten. She sent me packing tape, and I love her for that. She's amazing. I ran out of tape, and I need boxes taped so that I can pile them up. And her children and herself are definitely starseeds. And she's going through a very rough time. She's not getting sleep. She feels exhausted. And I told her, I'm like, you have a beautiful backyard. Why don't you just put a movie? She has like a blow up screen in the backyard. I'm like, why don't you just do a Friday night, like funny, uplifting, great movie, nothing scary. put it on for the kids, you and the hubby, go lay on the lounge chairs and just chillax. It's family time, but you're all watching a movie. You're not being bothered because the kids are, in their respective places with their snacks. They're not gonna bother you if you get, set up everything right. And you just chill out with a nice drink and chill. And she was like, that sounds like a really good idea. I was actually thinking about that. Look how things sync. And I do want to tackle this before I'm going to pull some cards also to help you guys. A lot of children are going through a crazy time because a lot of these children that have been born are already upgraded. And a lot of the children who have neurological, autism, spectrum, dyslexia, and a lot of people have noticed that my dyslexia is off the chain. When I'm reading a book, I say words that aren't there. I'm jumbling my words. My pronunciation stuff isn't my dyslexia. That's just my bad teeth. But like my brain don't function properly either. And I know when I was growing up, it was ridiculously hard to get through much because I wasn't about being programmed, but I needed help. So if you have children who are starting to act out, they're moody, they're like being bipolar, they're like something triggers them off and you don't know what's going on and they're throwing the tantrum, they're in the heat of the moment, take a breath. And when you can get them to focus and look at you in the eyes, ask them, what do they need? What will make you feel better? And if they tell you the electronic stuff, try to do an activity with them. Screen time is fine. And guys, I don't have children, but I was a paraprofessional with the young ones just about 8 years. I was with pre-K, kindergarten, first and second grade, and I had a school up to fifth, and I, subbed in did everything with all the grades. But I really had the focusing pre-K and kindergarten. And the biggest mistake is always opting for that screen time or that iPad. It's like pacifying the kid. Here, smack. Here's your Roblox. Here's your this. Here's your that. And it's like you're pacifying them instead of spending time with them. And yes, you have adult things you have to do, no doubt. Most kids who are on the spectrum, they need screen time because it helps their cognitive functioning. But try to do manipulatives with them, try to do puzzles with them, try to do things that you're there, but they're really doing, and you're just helping. We have to grow a bond. We have to know what they want. These children are extremely special. Just because they can't communicate, some of them are nonverbal. Some of them have a lot of anxiety. A lot of things trigger them off. But once you know, if you do ADA, and you do other modalities to help them with their schedule, and they get to choose, and everything is limited, but structured. Structure in some maybe art. Try to ask them how they want to see themselves. What do they want to do when they grow up? They can hear you and they can comprehend you. They might not be able to project it out to you because we're not on their level. We don't comprehend them yet. We will. We need to catch up to those kids. They're super intelligent. Even the ones that you don't think are, they are. Okay? It's just a matter of finding and figuring out how to tap in to how to communicate with them properly. Ask them to draw what they want to be. Enrich them. You know, every kid is different. And again, we're all individuals. So all these situations are different. But I can tell you right now, for a lot of my friends who may be watching this that aren't into spiritual stuff, I'm going to tell you right now, you should start learning a little bit, because that's what's going to help your kid in the future. And the future is incoming now. The energies are very high, and they're very heavily being affected by these energies. Not just the adults, the kids as well. So it's not to say to dismiss the tantruming and the moods. It's just now you know where it might be coming from. And again, it could be a trigger from anything. Kids get triggered all the time. But knowing that if you start not feeling too hot, especially if you're on the spiritual side, your kid is definitely not going to feel good. And they don't know how to verbalize what they're feeling. And sometimes we don't even know how to verbalize how we're feeling. So the trick is to play those binaural beats. The kids too, most of the kids love them. I did pre-K 2 years ago, and my teacher allowed me to play binaural beats for most of the day, just on low in the background noise when the kids were doing their work time or they're playing. And we would do projects. We would just have, you know, like choir music on, or not choir from like religious stuff, but like angelic sounding stuff, to orchestra, classical music, and then binaural beats. We mixed it up so I didn't get yelled at. But every time somebody walked in the room that was an adult, they automatically felt a huge change in the room. They saw the kids were calm. They saw everybody was getting along. And, you know, not all the time the kids get along. That's where they learn how to get along and work together as a team. But even as adults, when like, let's say you go to a massage place and you hear the soothing sounds, it puts you into a soothing, calm state of mind. And that, I feel, is very essential to have on hand. Very essential. So not just your children, but yourself. Next, those people who are in Allison's situation, who really can't afford to do much of anything. You're lucky you have your phone turned on. Put affirmations on. Affirmations don't necessarily work for everybody, but it's not easy to change your mind, your mindset. I still struggle with this. I'm both brained. Like, I work on both sides of my brain, but I'm more on the artsy side. I'm not as logical and rational, but I look at the world as a logical and rational entity. The problem is, not too many things in my past have manifested. And trying to change my mindset, I caught myself when I was starting to become negative and complain. But I'm going to give you a key. You need to vent it out. Most people that don't complain, or at least have a vent, bottle it up, and then it manifests in disease. I mean, I have rheumatoid arthritis. I have thyroid disease. And just recently, my eyesight is not 100%, where it used to be fine, no problem. One eye is worse than the other, but I can see clearly with both eyes, so I don't want to go for glasses or anything yet. I mean, I got to get my teeth fixed first, to be honest. Affirmations, there's ones about abundance, finances, finding your twin flame, finding your soulmate, just upbeat affirmations. There is Brian Scott of the Reality Revolution, who is amazing. I recommend listening to, I mean, not only Joe Dispenza, he's amazing. Don't get me wrong. I do a lot of his meditations too, but Brian does these really interesting, and I don't go to sleep with the headphones on. It bothers my ears, but I put it close to my head, and he does this dual thing where something is going to get into your subconscious. And that's really something that we don't really have too much control over. But if we can program our brains going to sleep with affirmations on, and it's cycling through, there's no harm in that. Changes your mindset. Because most of the time when you are conversing and going on your day-to-day, you're very unconscious about what, you know, you're conscious, hi, you're here, but you do a lot of things automatically. Like you cleaning, you already know the routine, you're just getting everything and you're just not thinking about it, you're grabbing and you're doing, you're not living in that moment. So when you have affirmations on in the background, it soaks in your mind. And I found that to be very helpful. I've been doing a lot of that. I've been doing a lot of third eye activations, chakra balancing, quick 10-minute, there's 30-minute, there's 8-hour meditations. You choose what is on the table. And if you have kids, invite them to join you. They might not know what the prosperity and abundance really looks like, but it will help their mindset. You know, don't be shy to do that in front of other people. Everybody can use it. I don't think one person wouldn't want to be abundant. Even the billionaire would like to be abundant or prosperous, having prosperity in another form. So I do really highly recommend that. Obviously, I don't do yoga because I actually need another person to put me into positions and correct and adjust like my body because of my crazy back. I can't hold things for a long period of time, but yoga is really good. Qigong, soothing movements. Also dance parties, just dancing, getting your body moving. I was a professional dancer. I did the dance moms. I was on dance competitions. When I was a little kid, I was dancing all the time. I was on stage. I was on television. I did it all. And then I had to stop because of my arthritis. But then later on, I became a Zumba instructor. I just finished 10 years. I had to put it up because I can't afford to pay the ridiculous fees once a month. So I had to end my Zumba career, but Zumba is amazing. Highly recommend that, especially if you want to do something where you want to get back into shape. It's fun. There's no judgment. And you wiggle and jiggle and just be happy. And that's hard to do in this time. So you got to find things that make you happy. You got to find images that put happy things. There's very, very sad and very manipulative things being thrown at you constantly if you're watching television and you're watching the news, which I suggest you don't. Okay, your Facebook feed, your Instagram feed will give you the news. When it comes to CERN, I don't even believe it's on. They already took us out of the space-time continuum. And now we're merging back with it. Our galactic friends aren't going to let anything happen. And if you listen to my Urantia book, they're not going to let nothing else happen either, because it already happened and it set us back. All right, the experiment of Earth School. Hi, we're not repeating Atlantis again. We're not doing it. So there's nothing really to worry about there. Today, the Georgia Guidestones were. That's really positive and good signs that good things are coming, believe it or not. Go look those up. I'm not going any deeper into that. You know, a lot of people are hurting right now on a spiritual level. A lot of people are hurting. A lot of people are questioning their religion, their paradigm. And again, question everything. There's no harm in it. Ask, why is this person preaching to me? What are they preaching to me? What's the message behind it? It's okay to have faith, but you can't bank everything on faith. You know, when I lost my job, I had a conversation with Creator. I said, okay, I volunteer to be here to help you, through me, help others, raise the vibration of the earth. I have a bunch of missions I have to do. I also have to have karmic neutralized, all the karmic junk and ancestral shit that I have to end, because that's what I signed up to do. I got to end it. I had to go through hell in a handbasket to even be here in front of you guys. And I'm sure we all have our stories. There's no comparison. And it, again, someone always has it worse, right? We always say that. Well, somebody already has it worse. Of course. But don't cancel out somebody's feelings. We all take things differently. We're all personal. And that's something that we got to stop doing, is putting everybody in categories and making pity parties out of people, because I'm sure the guy who is homeless on the street don't want to be there. Very few people want to be on the street. There are some that enjoy that lifestyle, and that I've met them. Not gonna lie, they're survivalists. They like the urban survivalists. I couldn't do it. But yes, everybody, there's somebody that always has it worse. But don't ever cancel out somebody's feelings. That doesn't prove anything, and it doesn't make anybody feel any better. That's something a lot of people do, and we got to stop that. That's not helping anybody. So I'm going to pick 3 affirmation cards to see what is it that we need to focus on. And I'm picking 3. Obviously, Spirit's telling me 3. So if anybody never watched my oracle readings before, when I spread those cards out, I am intending the question to spirit. I usually say it out loud on my oracle readings. But each card, when I pull, there's a vibration that I get in my hand that I feel. And the ring that I wear is my mother's, and my mother does help me big time with a lot of the readings. She channels through. So I get a feeling off the card that I choose. So the first affirmation is polishing my heart. Feeling is a power that helps me heal. So if you're not feeling from your heart center, okay, some of us think with our brains only, not with our heart and our brain. Something with their private parts and their brain, but not their heart. You got to contact all three, but your heart is really the space where you need to start feeling. It's usually the first place that gets heartbroken. It's the first place that shuts down. It's the first chakra that really gets blocked for most people, not all. Feeling is a power that helps me heal. In order for you to heal, this is shadow work. You need to feel the pain. You need to heal from it. You need to acknowledge it. Because that way you stop it and you acknowledge it. You thank it for the lesson that it taught you, and then you move on. If you keep pushing all that trauma to the back, it's going to surface in another way, or you're going to get triggered by a catalyst. So something will come into your life that will remind you of that trauma, but it's going to be in another way, and you're going to still have to face it. And if you're not facing it, you're not healing. So polishing my heart. I'm going to put this up here again. So if you guys want to take a picture, I suggest you do so and say this if that resonates with you. Untangling neglect. I take the time to give myself all the approval I desire. Untangling neglect. Sometimes many of us feel we have to have someone tell us to do something, or that we're not doing something because you need approval. You need somebody to validate it for you. Take the time to give yourself all the approval I desire. You got to start standing in your authority, putting some boundaries up with people. If you feel people are crossing your boundaries, standing in your authority and your authenticity, you don't need approval from anybody but yourself. Don't neglect yourself. That's how you untangle the neglect. most of us, and again, this is not a right or wrong, but most of us relate to always doing for others before we do for ourselves. And that's a lot of women, but that's also a lot of men in different ways. Most men feel obligated to go to work and to work multiple jobs to provide for their family. That's a stereotype. And that stereotype has diminished big time in the last few years. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Every dynamic and every family is different. So don't cheat yourself out of thinking like, oh, that's going to be my husband. That's going to be my girlfriend. That's going to be my wife. Take the time to give myself all the approval I desire, because you're going to do big things. The last one, processing grief. My losses prove how deeply I loved. I'm glad this came out. Grief doesn't necessarily have to be a loss of a person. It could be a loss of a job, a loss of a pet, a loss of something. I have grieved both my parents. I have grieved my birth mother. I have grieved very close friends that died very dramatically, very traumatically. And but that just shows how much of my heart went to these people. I celebrate life. My grieving is done differently, and I process grieving differently because of my spiritual beliefs. Another point of why I read what I do is because it's all trying to tell you that we're all one and the same, that you don't necessarily die. You're an immortal being. You're eternal. You don't go. You keep coming back. But in coming back doesn't mean you're leaving your loved ones. They're in your soul group. They're not going anywhere. You know, I know a lot of people here have lost. Unfortunately, I know a lot of my friends who are in their 30s who are widows. A lot. I know a lot of people who have lost children. They're always with you. They're going to wait for you when you get upstairs. They're working, they're with you, they're a thought away. And it's just up to you how you're going to perceive those signs that they leave for you. It's like breadcrumbs. My mom sometimes leaves pennies. My father, too, will leave some pennies in places like odd spots, like very odd spots. Sometimes you see birds and animals. Sometimes you're in the car and that song turns on out of nowhere. They're with you. You just have to pick those signs up. And every spirit is different. And newly passed away people, they're still learning how to be like, it's like the Beetlejuice. There is like a handbook in a sense. It's not a handbook, but it's a knowing. And they get taught how to do those things and how to manipulate energy so that you can get signs. You know, a lot of people aren't into the spiritual or the spirits, or there's ghosts and stuff. But at the same time, when someone close to them passes away, then they become very spiritual. I'm like, oh, I felt my mom today. Or something proves to them and shows them that it's not the end all be all. It's the end all be all in a physical vehicle. That's it. For me, it took me some time to process losing my job because I really, really love my job. I put my 110% in it. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, got on an express bus at 5 a.m., got into Manhattan between 6 and 6:30, went for a walk, got some coffee and breakfast, went straight to my building at 7 o'clock, or sometimes having to wait outside my building until someone opened it for me to go in. And then before anybody would get there, I would go get the mail. I would go get boxes if my teacher had boxes. I would set up the room. I would clean, obsessively clean. I would do some work way before the teacher even walked in the door. So they never had to worry that their classroom wasn't set up. It was already done for them an hour before they even got into the building. That's how much I love my job. And then sometimes I would stay after to clean up and to make sure everything was cleaned. And I didn't get home until 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night. And that was every day. I loved my job. I loved those kids. I loved the environment that I was in. You know, not everybody treated me properly, but not every job you're going to get everybody kumbaya-ing. But I really loved that job. And it took me a long time to process the reasons why I had to leave, the reasons why I had to choose how to move forward. It's not easy, especially that I didn't do anything wrong. It's not like I did anything wrong to lose my job. I have an allergy. That's how I lost my first job. So I just want to put that out there, guys, that grief sucks, but it's a very necessary tool for soul growth. And a lot of death has been going on. More so than when they told you it was. But also you have to realize it's a choice we all made before we came here. We all chose the manner in which we were going to go. Some people aren't going to the 4D. That doesn't mean they're not going to eventually get there and see you. They're still a part of your soul group that will never change. Okay? So the loved ones that you have lost, some of them will be there to join you. Some of them decided it's not for me. I'm not ready to move up yet. I need to go back to third density. That's fine. That's a choice that they made because they were a newer soul. Or they just weren't ready. And then there's many of us who will stay in this vehicle and move forward. And they're trying to stop that, by the way. That's why the energies are very overwhelming. And that's why I was very propelled to do this video. Because a lot of people are like, what do I do? How do I feel better? I don't have all this money to be spending on all these supplements and these like chimes and all these things. Everything that I have, I do for the majority of the sense, besides paying the internet bill, is free. You know, nothing is free. Everything comes with a cost. Let's see what gems we should work with. I'm really sad because I had to pack a lot of my gems away already. Ooh, that's a vibrating one. it's grief is, I'm glad that card came out because a lot of people are going through it right now. We have Lumerian quartz. Practice patience. This is hard. You know why it's hard? Because many of us have been waiting and waiting and waiting. Some for 30 years, some for 10, some for 2. Doesn't really matter. We've been patient and waiting and waiting and waiting. And we're suffering more. We're being tormented more. But we're being asked to have some patience. Slow down. There's no need to hurry or rush through life. There is enough time for you to do everything that you need to do. Learn to quiet the restless parts of yourself and take life one step at a time. There's a difference between being busy and being productive. Make sure you spend your precious time on the things that matter most. Patience is not something you acquire once and never have to think of it again. It is a practice, one that must consciously draw upon, even when your poise is tested. Go with the pace of nature and trust that everything will happen in due course. A little mindful practice makes that every day more enjoyable so that you can appreciate life's natural pauses. The core question, what people or situation test your patience? How can you be more patient in your everyday life? Crystal action, affirm, I am patient. Today, slow down, let someone pass in front of you in traffic or go in front of you in the line at the store. You don't want to rush through those kinds of things because that's when accidents can happen. And usually when you are patient and stalled, things tend to usually work out better. And again, we rush through life. Oh, the kids have dance, the kids have basketball, the kids have baseball. I got to get to work. Oh my goodness. Your life is more precious than those things. And yes, we love to see the kids enjoy all their activities, but sometimes patience is a virtue. Virtue. We have pink opal. Be kind to yourself. Cut yourself some slack. The way you talk to yourself can either lift you up or tear you down. So be mindful of your internal dialogue. Honor yourself. Be your own cheerleader. Forgive yourself and remain your own best friend through the ups and downs of life. Make a conscious shift to speak to yourself with more compassion, empathy, and kindness. Treat yourself as well as you would treat others or the way you would expect others to treat you. It all starts with your own inner voice. By showing yourself sensitivity, understanding, and gentleness, you can learn to be kinder and more compassionate towards others as well. Core questions. How do you talk to yourself? Would you speak to others the way you speak to yourself? Would you treat others the way you treat yourself? Affirm, I honor myself. Today, write down 3 things you love about yourself and read them aloud in the morning and at night. Writing is amazing. And even if you get a scrap paper, okay, write down your intentions. If you want to manifest a dream, I do this. I have a manifesting book that I just write down my thoughts. Like I want to be financially secure. I want to be financially able to take care of myself. I want to be able to take care of myself. I want to manifest a good job. I want to manifest something that I could do for humanity. I want to manifest abundance for humanity. I write all this stuff down. And I say it and repeat it because those are the truest things that I want. Aquamarine, aquamarine, go with the flow. Stay fluid. If one way of doing things isn't working, find another way. Remain open to seeing things from different vantage points and perspectives. If plans change or obstacles arise, chart a new course to get to the other side. You're like water, unstoppable. Keep moving and you will get to where you want to go. Sometimes it just takes a bit of fluidity to get there. No matter how strong the current, remember to go with the flow and enjoy the ride. The questions: what causes you to feel attached and attacked to an outcome? What could result if you were flexible? How could you show up to meet unexpected changes? Affirm, I surrender to the ebbs and flows of life. Today, release your expectations for how situations is supposed to go. Stay fluid and go with the flow. So another thing that I know a lot of people going through this energy shift, going through the world shifts, having all these unknowns happening, getting decks, okay, like this, or the healing mantra. I don't always use these oracle cards in any of, in all my readings. And also, hang on. All right, guys, I wanted to grab another deck. This is 60 empowering. Sorry, guys, again, I can't project. Questions and affirmation cards. I highly suggest that if you're really having a hard time and you're not thinking clearly or you're just brain foggish, and again, I'm somebody who has to come down to reality because sometimes I live too much in this big bubble world of everything's going to work out, everything's going to be fine, everything's going to work out, everything's going to be fine. And then when things don't go right and things aren't fine, like they are now, it's like, then I have this self-defeating feeling like, well, you see, you put too much hope and you were naive and nothing came to fruition for you in your situation. And then, then my other mind is like, well, that wasn't supposed to be. Well, then what is supposed to be? Because nothing has yet so far worked out. It's frustrating. And that's really logically the truth. I've went my whole life being, not a master of one, but a person who's branched out in so many different fields. I was a tattoo artist for a little while. I'm an artist. I used to dance. I used to be a Zumba instructor. I was a lifeguard. I was a para. I did so many side jobs, so many things. I do construction. I make creations. I do a lot of different things. They're all very artistic or very hands-on. And none of them have come to fruition in full. They all taught me beautiful and great things. And I'm really hoping once I move, I can start my creations back up, because those make me really happy. And the people who have bought from me love the energies of my creations. So for an example, I am in love with the present, because we should be living in the present moment, by the way. What is happening around me right now that I was previously unaware of? How can I remind myself today to stay grounded? So another thing that can help you, another tool, is getting these cards. You know, again, people ask, well, I don't know, where do I go? Amazon. There are stores just dedicated to tarot oracle cards. They have the affirmation cards. They have empowering cards. It doesn't hurt to see which one resonates with you. If you like the colors, if you like the artwork, whatever it is about that is screaming your name and you can afford it, get them. If you're inspired, if you are a writer, a creative writer, why don't you write a bunch of your own affirmations and then choose one once a day to ask yourself these questions. I'm in love with the present. And it asks you questions to help you think about positive things. I am patient. Again, this patient card. I trust that all good things happen in their own time. What I am looking forward to, how can I calm my nerves or any impatience I might face as I wait for this dream to come to fruition? And you can write these down in a journal. I am living in alignment with my purpose. What have I accomplished lately that really resonated with my soul? How can I strive for more moments like that? So these are very powerful because it's at making you ask yourself the questions and being real with yourself, tackling those issues. Are you feeling stuck? This is this deck, if you're interested. I got it off of Amazon. You know, and I'm bad because I should be more on like Instagram showing those. But I really feel that a lot of people that are going through really rough times right now, even I have to do this, is stop over analyzing everything. You know, when you're in the thick of hell and being overwhelmed, like I take moments out of my day when I wake up. I don't immediately get up and rush. I get some water, drink lots of water. I sit and I put some music on and I start waking myself up. And then when I'm ready, I do my, you know, my morning bathroom routine, you know, brush my teeth and get in the shower and get dressed. And then I come back and I do some meditation after I cleaned and cleared myself. And then I tackle the day. Getting all the garbage out to the garbage can, getting everything boxed up slowly. And I have to do everything slowly because I can't burn out my body. You know, I had to give up the notion that I have to do everything now, especially after I got diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, because my body dictated to me when I am able to do things, not when my mind wants to do them, when I physically am able to do things. And, you know, a lot of people thought I was lazy when I first got sick, and no one really believed it because I don't look sick, you know, but a lot of people don't get it until they go through it. So not everybody's going to understand what you're going through. Number one, if you're dealing with challenging health issues, not too many people sympathize with you that are around you because they're fine. They're walking around, they're doing great, right? You're not around a lot of sick people. A lot of people aren't necessarily around others who are dealing with what you're dealing with. And of course, when you go to the doctor's offices and stuff, then you are around the people that are having those issues. But just know that you're not alone. Just know that you got to do what's within you to do. And sometimes when you can't get things done, there's no apologies for it because you know the reason and you don't have to be guilty over it. You're doing what's best for you. And that's the most important thing. So we got the meditations, the guided meditations, the binaural beats. We now have the cards, the affirmations, the mantra, the gem cards. They're very, just pick one up a day. I have messages from angels here. What goes around comes around. So if someone did some dirty deed to you, it's going to hit them eventually. Maybe not in this lifetime. The time is right. Have faith. Your desire is about to come to fruition. I know the world looks very scary right now. It seems impossible, but I'm overlooking the fact that things are starting to happen. The paradigm is starting to drop dead. These evil shits lost. So I keep projecting forward in hopes that things do start to change for the better for humanity, and they will. It's just a matter of when. And the cards keep saying, be patient. Like attracts like, so think only positive thoughts. But what I'm going to say here, yes, you should be positive. But you also have to be logical and rational about the way you're thinking. Right? If you follow me on the Kabbalion and the principle of polarity and rhythm, you have two poles. You have your positive and your negative. And because we're in third density, we have both poles, and we need to have and know of both poles. The law of rhythm is stating that it's like a pendulum, right? You could swing really bad to depression. You could swing high to elation. We really never stay elated, and we're really never, you do get depressed and sad and overwhelmed, but you don't necessarily stay there every moment of the day. You're swinging back and forth. And what's really recommended is coming to neutral. Knowing that the bad is here, knowing that the good is here, and you want to swing a little into the forward, into that positive, but you're not going to hit the scale on the 1 to 10 from the neutral zone to the happy, elated. You're not going to hit that 10 every day. It's not practical. It's hard to find things to be elated about every day, right? So you want to swing where there's reason and rational thoughts, like looking forward, looking and laughing at cute baby animal pictures and them doing stupid shit. Watching a really good comedic act, laughing. You're not going to be watching that video all day and laughing, but you're giving your attention to positive things. So you're going to swing here instead of swinging here. And if you swing here, there's nothing wrong with that, because that means you need to learn something. You need to grow from something. Something is nagging you, something triggers you. You need to figure out what that trigger is, why you feel the way you do, and try to manage and go around that. Okay, what is this trying to teach me? What lesson is this making me try to learn? Always trying to come back to at least a neutral zone and staying in the present moment. We're going to have to learn that between 4 and 5D of how to just be in the present, because past, present, future happen all together in one shot. So you need to know how to stay neutral and swing toward the positive and not the negative, but it's okay to swing negative. We're still 3D vessel. Okay. Neutral to positive. Be rational about it, though. Be rational. Essential oils. Orange with cat hair hanging off of it. Miss Princess is downstairs, where it's cooler. I have a bunch of these all over the place. I know these are not healthy. I don't put them in a machine to diffuse. I'll put the lavender on my pillowcase, and I'll sprinkle on the back of this. Scents that soothe me, or something that will help. So maybe that's another avenue, aromatherapy. If you're, again, animals react to those things. So just be really mindful before you go buy a diffuser and you're all set and go, and then your animal gets sick. Certain oils will react to animals. So, please be mindful about that. Go do your research with that. But I use them, or they have diffuser bracelets or necklaces that you put it in, and it just, that scent, whatever you choose, whatever resonates with you. Obviously, Allison's obsessed with gems. Gems. I'd wear all of my gems if I could. Gems are another thing a lot of people like to use. They switch them out. I don't really take my Merkaba off. I have another Merkaba, a little smaller one. I needed a bigger one. I needed to upgrade. I got gifted this. Very important to, if you're into gems, connect with them. It's not as expensive as a habit for me it is. I don't have any big geodes or anything like that. I don't. I like to go to a gem store and like feel the vibration and feel what stones are calling to me. Most gems, and I haven't bought gems in a long time, start at 99 cents. They don't need to be huge to work. They don't. Sorry, just the way it is. It's what resonates with you and the intention that you infuse into the gem that helps. And a lot of people, when they're meditating, you know, I'm more of a layer down meditating person, because if I sit too long with my spine erect in perfect posture, I start going numb because of my disalignments. And I have meditation pillows on my floor. So I'll do the sitting ones where I'm up and centered when I can. But if I'm laying down, I like to put gems like Reiki on my body, and it helps. Again, not for everybody. Sage. Clear space. Sorry, I'm out of view. If you can't burn it, spray it. I got this as a gift from one of my coworkers before I left. It's white sage with lavender. It smells really good. Some of them have crystals in them, clear quartz. It amplifies it. There's a plethora of sprays you can buy. You can make those as well. Again, something to look into: lighting candles, shutting the lights or dimming the lights out. Just sitting with candles, even if you don't have a tub, imagining yourself in a body of water, grounded to earth, floating. How beautiful. Just imagine it. The whole idea is to come calm, is to reprogram your body to get to that calm, neutral state. Kids, it's a little harder. But if you start involving them in learning how to meditate or being mindful, and having them question when they're having a tantrum, and this does not apply to all ages, I promise. You know, a lot of kids don't even understand why they're acting the way they are. We were kids once too. But if you point it out to them and like, you know, why are you feeling like that? You're acting not okay. What's going on? What's going on in here? Kids will usually tell you what's going on. And then you can go more in explanation and help them figure it out and understand, well, that's not an okay feeling to have. You know, let's think about other ways we can do this or feel. We got to do the same thing with ourselves, guys. So I really hope that somebody got something out of this video. I know for myself, the time that I'm going through is really difficult. Obviously, I don't have a tree in my backyard that grows money, and it's going away anyway. Bye-bye fiat money, bye-bye. It's just a matter of when. Money, I don't like greed, period, end of story. And greed comes in so many forms, but I don't like money, period. I think everything should be worked for, And it shouldn't be judged on how you do that work. I believe that bartering is very helpful, and being a hand that has many, like for me, I'm a person that can put my hand in many different pots and make things work. Like I love dancing with children. I love doing like that go noodle stuff with the kids. I love creating art with children. I love doing art for myself and for others. I like making creations that others feel spiritually aligned and better, and their gems work when they put it on that stuff. It amplifies it. I like when I'm doing a reading and people are connecting to either my oracle cards or the books. It's triggering them inside their minds like, holy shit. Wow, that just connected. Bing, 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 and all the light bulbs go off. So I like being multifaceted. I like having my hands in different things because I like to move around and do different things. Some people aren't like that. Some people just like sitting at a desk all day and answering phones. Whatever it is that you do, it's needed. But I don't think anybody should have to go hungry and be impoverished and go without shelter. You know, some people have never found their true calling in life. That's their sole choice to do that. They don't know it. They forgot about what they chose to do in this life. Sometimes it takes others to help motivate others to get on their feet and reclaim their lives. We have a new world that we're trying to birth. And it's very confusing right now. There's a lot of energy going on right now. There's a lot happening in our world that is affecting us all in negative, but some positive ways. And the mindset that I keep trying to impose and impress on everybody is that we all need to be together, united. We all need to come together to help each other get out of where we are so that we're all abundant. Again, I don't like having to watch everybody greed over crypto and this money and that, this bond and that money and the rainbow currency and all this other stuff that's going to happen, because it's just another form of greed. It's just another form of how can other people take advantage of that. Oh, what am I going to do about my retirement? Well, you know what? My retirement just went out the window trying to take care of me for the present moment. It's gone. Poof. I went through all my savings. I went through my retirement. It's gone. Just trying to eat. Keep the lights on and try to keep my house. All for something I didn't do. And I know many of you have very similar stories to me, so I'm not alone in that. We need to come together and help one another out. And it doesn't matter about your religion, your political affiliation. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're a human being. This is humanity we're trying to save right now. Not one country, everybody. But you know what happens? Everybody focuses on the other countries and not on their own first. And what's really happened to the people in their countries. We could do better. We're going to do better. But it starts making that shift in your mind. And it's not easy. I still work on that. I still lapse all the time. I sit here and I'm like, well, I cleaned, I went out, I cashed cans, I cashed the coins in, I have motivation, like I need to get this done. I'm hoping to have more yard sale stuff to put up on sites before I actually have a physical yard sale. I am moving and doing as best as I possibly can, and it still doesn't seem good enough for me. That's just my personality. I never think I am or do enough. But I know that I do. So it's like not the question, but like I feel sometimes I'm like, wow, a whole day passed me by and didn't do anything. But no, that's not true. I did a lot. It's just it's not up to my personal standards. And sometimes I have to drop that and say, well, did you feel good today? Was your back participating in these events today? You know, did you get enough sleep last night? No. So, yeah. Take good care of yourself, guys. Take those showers, use sage soap, use sage, use aromatherapy in the shower, drop a few essential oils in the shower. Eucalyptus, if you can afford it, you know, put your foot in the spa or even a mixing bowl and put some good stuff in there to detox your body. Drink a lot of water. Go out into nature, do some walking. If you're looking for something else to change your mindset, the oracle cards, especially the ones that have affirmations, mantras, and you know, like the gems or something daily that you could pick up and get some inspiration off of and getting you to think, what is it I need to do? Or, okay, the universe is telling me to be patient. Why? You know, and find the ways that this is going to help you shape and change who you are, but for the better and in a good way. And it's going to calm you down. And it's going to actually block out all the noise going on that is not useful for you. And that's what I've been trying to do this entire time through my hardships, knowing that they're still there and they're not going away. But again, I mean, not all of you are gray, but I am, and I'm 39, and I've been this gray for 17 years. I dyed my hair for a long chunk of it, and this is 10 years that I let my hair just go. I mean, stress is a killer. Try not to stress. Try to read, try to write in a journal. Do those binaural beats, try guided meditation. And if you don't do well with meditation, at least play it. The ones that Brian Scott does, the 8-hour sleep meditations, you really don't have to do nothing but listen in the beginning, do some breathing exercises to relax your body. And then once you're out to sleep, it does the rest for you. No matter how long you sleep for, it don't matter. Play it. When you're out working, in the house, cleaning, doing stuff. Binaural beats are always amazing to play in the background. I don't have an Alexa or the home system, but if you do, that's something you should be doing. You should be playing binaural beats at certain frequencies. See what everybody's calm to. See what like makes you happy or whatever you're trying to. There's a binaural beat for everything. By the way, it's a lot. And there are people that really do put a really good effort into it. Light language, if you're into light language, plenty of people who do that in opera voice. It's just beautiful to listen to. Listen to 10 minutes of that. Usually they're about 10 to 20 minutes long. Listen to that. There's a lot that you could be doing. I try to incorporate different things each day, depending how I wake up and how I feel. But I always envision my bubble, my light bubble of bright white light and golden light encompassing me. I put my shield up of mirrors so nothing can attack me. I sage once in a while. I clap it out. I light some sage. I drink some water. You can take your water bottle and you could talk to the water, all your intentions that you would like. Give it love. Send it love. Send it and tell it what you want. Put your hand on the tree. Give your worries to the tree. Let it cycle through its roots and let it breathe it out into the universe. Let the tree take your worries. You're not going to be a tree hugger. You're not a hippie. There's so many things that you could do. And in your everyday life, we kind of forget because we have the routine, we have work, we have the kids, we have the this. In the car on the way home, instead of playing some beep bop junk that's already tainted anyway, play binaural beats. See if the kids like it. See if you could do it. Don't do the meditation in the car. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. Bad idea. But I hope those suggestions help. I hope the cards that I picked today helped some of you. And I hope some of you resonated with that. Again, a lot of my work doesn't resonate with everybody, but someone it does. That's all that matters to me. The most important reason why I made this channel. Because I know that there's people like me out here in the Netherlands that need mind-like people like us. We need to connect. We need to hear what we already know inside of ourselves. We need that validation from another person. Like, wow, I'm not crazy. Wow, I'm really feeling like this. And she's spot on. She's telling me what's going on with me. No one else is talking about this. So that's why I put what I do out. Again, spiritual soul advice. I'm going to make this look better, I promise. I hope that helped, guys. Again, Spirit really wanted me to really think about how I can help those going through what I'm going through right now and use the methods that I've been using. And it's not going to happen in one day, but over time, it will get better. You will feel better and you'll be able to handle your situation a little easier. It's not going to go away. Your situation is not going to go away, but it will get better. You change your mindset. You're like, oh crap, I'm here. How do I get here? And then use all those methods to figure out what is going to work for you that day in that moment to get you swinging on the uprise instead of swinging on the bad. So I hope that helped, guys. Sending each and every one of you love and light. I am putting intention into the universe that we all seek prosperity and abundance, especially those who are on the brink of losing everything, like myself. And I hope to see you on the next one. Again, you don't know what's going on with my internet. I don't know how long I'm going to have it. So I'm just going to keep doing what I can in the middle of cleaning the house and doing life. Until the next one, guys. Bye.